Well, hello again, and welcome to the second lesson in our flipped classroom. Tonight we are going to talk about a concept that sometimes I know is scary to people, but it shouldn't be scary. The concept is complex. Well, not complex, but complex fractions. Now, don't freak out because I used the fraction word, but it's just the complex fractions. To start with, the question is this: what does the bar in a fraction mean? So if I gave you 4 over 5, what does the fraction bar, so what does this bar really mean? Yes, that's absolutely correct. I can hear you yelling it right now. I know you're yelling it right now, and you're yelling at a screen, by the way. But regardless of that, the fraction bar means divide. The fraction bar means to divide. So if we think about that, and we use that concept to our advantage, then if I gave you something like this, 3/4 over 9/16. 3/4 over 9/16. That is a complex fraction because basically it's a fraction in a fraction. So, well, it's actually two fractions in a fraction in this case. So if we break this apart and go very simple on it, I'm going to take this and use the main fraction bar, and say, as I said, 3/4 over 9/16, which is really 3/4 divided by 9/16. Now, going back to elementary school, when you learned how to divide fractions, we know that to divide fractions, we leave the first fraction exactly the same. We change division into multiplication. And then we take the second fraction and we turn it into its reciprocal, which is nothing more than flipping the fraction over. So that becomes 16/9. Sometimes we use the abbreviation of same, change, change. Leave the first fraction the same, change division to multiplication, change the second fraction into its reciprocal. Now that I have 3/4 times 16/9, now all it is using the fractions. And in this case, I can look for how I can cross cancel. And I know the 3 and the 9 cross cancel because 3 goes into 3 once and 3 goes into 9 3 times. Do the 4 and the 16 cross cancel? Is there a number that goes into both 4 and 16? Yep, you got it. That's right. The number is 4. 4 goes into 4 once. 4 goes into 16 4 times. Now that I've done all my cross canceling, now I just multiply across. 4 times 1 is 4 over 1 times 3 is 3. And for our purposes, we're going to leave things as improper fractions. So we're going to leave it as 4/3. Okay, now it's your turn. I would like you to do 8/15 over 20/25. Pause the recording while you work on these two problems, and let's see, on this problem, sorry, not these two, but this problem, and see how well you do. Go ahead and pause the recording. Alright, let's see what you got for your answer. If you set it up right at the beginning, you would have gone 8/15 divided by 20/25. Then you would have written this as a same change. I would have kept the first fraction the same, changed division to multiplication, and changed the second fraction into its reciprocal. Just flip it on over. Now, does anything go, can I cross cancel anything? Well, I know that 8 and 20 cross cancel because 4 goes into both of those. 4 goes into 8 2 times, 4 goes into 25 times. 15 and 25, 5 goes into 15 3 times, 5 goes into 25 5 times. And look at this, I've got a 5 on top and a 5 on the bottom, which actually cancel themselves out, but we're going to put a 1 to it. So what I end up with is 2 times 1, which is 2, over 3 times 1, which is 3. So my answer is 2/3. Now, let's take a look at this particular problem. If I have 2/3 over 7, 2/3 over 7, how do you think you would do this one? Pause the recording, give it a try, and let's see how well you do. Alright, let's see how you did. Done right, 2/3 divided by 7. That's really 2/3, keep the first fraction the same, change division to multiplication, and change 7 into its reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of 7? Yep, 1/7. That's because this 7 is really over 1, and when I flip it, it becomes 1/7. Does anything cross cancel? Nope, I don't see anything cross canceling. So I can just multiply across to get my answer of 2/21. Now, I would like you to get a little bit more practice on this before you come into into school tomorrow. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to go into your textbooks and look at page 20. Then in your spiral notebooks, right underneath the end of these notes, I would like you to do questions number 1 through 5. And I would like you to do those questions, and tomorrow we will go over those questions to see how well you did. All right, see you in the next class period.